Hello, Homeworks members, and welcome to your 2022 district meeting. My name is Casey Phelan, and I'm the marketing manager here at Homeworks. I'm going to serve as your moderator for tonight's virtual event. Before we begin, I want to cover our meeting protocol. If you attended your virtual meeting last year, this should be a very similar experience for you. If you're a newcomer or a first-time virtual meeting participant, don't worry. The whole process is very easy, and we're here to help if you have any questions. Remember that we can neither see nor hear you during this meeting, but you will still be able to be a very interactive part of tonight's proceedings. The interaction on your end will be completed using the simple buttons that pop up on your Zoom webinar screen. The first button, Chat, is for making motions and making comments. Whenever a vote comes up this evening and the speaker asks, "Can I get a motion?" please type "So moved" in the chat box if you would like to make the motion. When the speaker asks for a second, please type "second" in the chat box if you would like to second the motion. You can also use the chat box if you have a comment that you'd like to make at any time during the meeting. One thing we ask is that you do not ask questions using the chat button. Instead, if you have a question, please click on the Q&A button. This will bring up a box that allows you to enter a question and view the answers to your questions all in one place. Your questions may be answered via chat, which will show up in that box, or during the live Q&A portion with our CEO toward the end of this program, which will be noted in that box as well. Like last year, I will be monitoring your comments and questions throughout the meeting, and we will be sure to follow up with you after tonight's meeting if any of your questions are unable to be answered during the live event. One thing that will be different and improved from last year is the function that you will use to vote on motions. This year, after a motion is made and seconded, the voting options will pop up directly on your screen. You will then simply click on the button representing the way that you would like to vote. As the votes come in, the polling numbers will show up right there on the screen so everyone can see the results in real time. Moving on. I hope you all have your bingo cards ready for tonight. We had great participation from members who seemed to really enjoy the bingo game last year, so make sure to join in the fun during this meeting by listening for key words and topics and checking off any that you hear us discuss tonight. If you get a vertical, horizontal, or diagonal bingo, write the account holder's name and homework service address on the card and return it to us by either placing a stamp on the card and putting it in the mailbox, or by sending a picture of it to the email address on the screen now. Anyone who turns in a winning bingo card will be placed in a raffle for one of 3 grand prizes, including 6 months, 4 months, or 2 months of free Homeworks Connect service at the Super Connector package level. If you aren't connected to Homeworks Connect yet, don't worry. We can instead apply an equivalent bill credit to your electric or propane account, but these options will be discussed with the winner when we call to notify you of your winnings. Please turn in your bingo card by June 1st to be entered into the raffle. Our grand prize winners will be announced and notified by June 3rd. I also want to remind you that if you'd like, you can follow along with some of the topics we discussed this evening in your digital district meeting booklet, which you should have received by email this afternoon. This helpful booklet can also be accessed at the address shown on the screen now. And lastly, as always, be sure to stay logged on until the end of this meeting so you don't miss out on the prize drawings that you were already automatically entered into just by attending tonight. Our prizes tonight include a 55-inch smart TV, a robot vacuum cleaner, Homeworks bill credits, gift cards to local businesses, and many other exciting big ticket items, but you must be present to win, so stay with us. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoy the program that we put together for you tonight. Now, let's get started. To officially kick off tonight's meeting, here is a message from your District 7 Director, Shirley Sprague.
Welcome, District 7 friends and neighbors. I'm Shirley Sprague. I've represented our district on the Homeworks Tri-County Electric Board of Directors for 6 years now. As you know, we're back in virtual format this year by popular demand. We're excited to be here and to have you join us tonight. So sit back, get comfy, and get ready to enjoy a great district meeting. One thing our members love about the virtual meeting format is that it allows people to attend who couldn't join us in person in the past due to scheduling conflicts and other obstacles. So if we have any newcomers attending their first district meeting with us tonight, I want to say welcome. It's wonderful to have new members become engaged with the co-op that we all own. To everyone here this evening, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to participate in the democratic process of the co-op. Our district includes over 5,400 members residing in or receiving service in Mecosta and Osceola counties. I am currently finishing out my second 3-year term as your District 7 director. And as you know, I am currently seeking re-election, running against Mark Klump of Stanwood this year. The results of that election will be officially announced by our corporate council here later this evening. Thank you to all of you who voted in our director election. I am really eager for all of you to hear tonight about the very busy and productive year we've had here at HomeWorks. There are so many exciting projects staff is working on. First, and perhaps the most impactful for you, we have been continuing to invest a significant amount of time and capital into the hardening and strengthening of our electric system. This is making our electricity even more reliable. In addition to that, we've entered the final phase of our 5-phase build-out of the HomeWorks Connect fiber internet network, which is bringing reliable broadband access to our rural communities in a time when it is needed more than ever. We've also launched a new energy optimization program that we hope will benefit thousands of HomeWorks members as they implement energy efficient measures at their homes and businesses. The HomeWorks employees working for you have also been able to maintain and improve upon our other excellent services, including Tri-County Propane, our People Fund and community outreach programs, and many others. CEO Chris O'Neill will tell you more about all those projects in his co-op update tonight. We also have some co-op business to conduct tonight. In addition to electing your board representative every 3 years, you also choose delegates to attend our annual meeting. Then the delegates elect district officers each May. They include our district chair, Don Pasalt from Hersey, who will conduct our brief business meeting in just a few minutes. Our vice chair is Elaine Grace from Mecosta. Our district secretary is Connie Gibson from Everett. Thank you, Don, Elaine, and Connie for your service to our district. We appreciate your service. Again, I'm thrilled to be with you here tonight, and I'm so happy to have so many of our District 7 members engaging with the co-op in this format. Having informed member owners really does make HomeWorks a stronger cooperative. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the tremendous amount of work that has been accomplished by HomeWorks employees over the past year. From strengthening the electric system to bringing fiber internet to our members, HomeWorks employees have been working hard for you. We appreciate your patience as we work toward completion of providing fiber internet to our members. Thank you for allowing me the honor of serving as your district director. Now, please welcome CEO Chris O'Neill.
Thank you, Director Sprague. District 7 members, welcome to your 2022 live streamed virtual district meeting. If you don't know me, I'm Chris O'Neill. I've been with HomeWorks for over 20 years, and I became your CEO in May of 2020. I want to say that it is my great privilege to serve you. Like Director Sprague mentioned, we are back in a virtual format this year in response to your feedback, which showed after last year's virtual meetings that our membership overwhelmingly prefers the online format over in-person district meetings. I'm so happy to have you here with us tonight. The democratic process is one of the founding principles that sets co-ops apart from other types of utilities, and HomeWorks depends on members like you who are willing to be involved and informed. Plus, I'm very excited to update you on the things that have been happening at HomeWorks over the past year. Now, as you're showing your participation here this evening, as a member owner of the co-op, you have a voice and a vote in everything we do at HomeWorks. I want to thank you for using that voice to select such good leaders to run your district meetings, serve as your nominating committee, and represent you on our board of directors. Shirley and her 6 fellow board members provide insightful leadership year in and year out that we truly value. Now, as you know, Memorial Day is coming up in just a couple of weeks, and I want to take a moment to thank those of you who are veterans, as well as the families of those currently serving. Please know that your service is appreciated by everyone here at HomeWorks. Now, for those of you who attend regularly your district meetings, this will be a little bit of old hat, but for the newcomers that are with us tonight, I want to provide you a quick co-op 101 as we do every year. I already mentioned one of the most important aspects of being a HomeWorks member. which is the fact that you are not only a customer of our co-op, but also an owner. That's right. We are a not-for-profit utility service owned by you and about 23,000 of your neighbors across 13 counties in our rural mid-Michigan service territory. You might know the history that it was members just like you in Eaton, Ingham, and Jackson counties who first formed our cooperative over 80 years ago in 1937. At that time, electricity was just beginning to take hold, and the investor-owned utilities in our state were passing by our rural communities in favor of serving denser areas with greater profit potential. But rural folks tend to know how to take care of themselves, so a group of local farmers banded together and founded Tri-County Electric to serve their electricity needs. Over 8 decades later, we're still largely committed to serving you. Our only mission is to provide you with reliable energy, comfort, and communication solutions to enhance your quality of life. Speaking of communication solutions, you might have noticed that the history we just spoke of is repeating itself today when it comes to rural broadband access. Again, many of the investor-owned providers have opted to pass over large swaths of our rural areas in favor of serving denser areas, leaving a large portion of our members without the reliable internet service that's becoming more of a necessity. That's where our Homeworks Connect service comes in. Just like we did 80 years ago, your co-op is working to step in to fill the void for our members, and we couldn't be more proud of that. We'll talk a bit more about Homeworks Connect and all of our services later. First, I want to quickly highlight some other things that really sets co-ops apart, which is our concern for the communities that we serve. Our board of directors and employees all live right here within our rural mid-Michigan footprint, and that means we care very much about the communities that we serve. We try to do all we can to make a positive impact for the people who live here, especially those people who are in need. One of the most important ways we try to fulfill that goal here at Homeworks is through our Tri-County People Fund. Our People Fund has granted over $2.5 million to families and organizations in need throughout our service territory since 1993. Recent People Fund grants in this area include grants to the Chippewa-Martini Fire Department for fire gear, boots and gloves, and to Angels of Action in Big Rapids to support their mobile food pantry. Our People Fund is made possible by those of you who voluntarily round up your monthly electric bill to the nearest dollar. And I want to sincerely thank you. That contribution, which averages just $6 per member per year, but that spare change really adds up to help fulfill a need in our community. Our People Fund board of 7 volunteers, one from each one of our districts, works very hard to make sure each grant request is considered with care. Here in District 7, your People Fund director is Geraldine Strong. I want to thank Geraldine for the time and compassion you put into the service on the People Fund board. The work you and your fellow board members do impacts hundreds of lives in our communities each year, and we couldn't do it without you. We appreciate you more than we can say. In addition to the People Fund, we have a couple other community programs that really help make a big difference locally. This year, we made Touchstone Energy classroom technology grants to several classrooms, including a $2,000 grant here in District 7 to Big Rapids Middle School for camera equipment. We also awarded a $1,000 Touchstone Energy college scholarship to 12 very deserving high school students whose households are served by our electric lines, to help them further their education. Here in District 7, scholarships were awarded to Katrina Forbes of Morley Stanwood High School and Ethan Fuller of Big Rapids. We've also tried to help meet other needs in our communities over the past year with some extra grants, donations, and community outreach whenever we've had the chance. To highlight some of those giving opportunities, we've put together a quick community impact video we think you'll enjoy.
At Homeworks Tri-County Electric Cooperative, providing you with reliable electricity is what we do. It's a given. But Homeworks isn't just your electric provider. We're a part of your community. Beyond powering your homes and businesses, our ultimate goal is to empower our rural communities in ways that will improve your quality of life. That's why we are so committed to giving back. Over the past year, we've impacted students and teachers throughout our service territory by providing $30,000 in grants to support innovative learning opportunities in the classroom. We've helped 12 high school seniors in our area continue their education with $1,000 Touchstone Energy college scholarships. We've supported our local food banks and family resource organizations through $20,000 in co-bank sharing success donations. We've backed a variety of other nonprofit causes in our area with over 25,000 in community outreach sponsorships. And with the help of our members who round up their bills to support Operation Roundup, we've made a big difference for our neighbors in need, paying out over $68,000 in People Fund grants in 2021. Beyond the money donated, we're dedicated to being a trusted resource for our members and our communities. We provide electric safety programs, educational opportunities, career fair speakers, legislative advocacy, and so much more. After all, we are an electric cooperative, and we were built to serve you. Powering your homes is what we do. Empowering our rural communities is who we are. That's Homeworks. That's the cooperative difference.
That really makes you feel good. And for me, personally, it makes me really proud to be part of a co-op. And since that video was put together, we've been able to make another very timely donation that I'm especially proud of. Last month, our employees decided to support Co-op Ukraine with a $15,000 donation of funds we reallocated from a pool of money that was originally raised by our employees and members in 2017 for an international electrification project that ended up having to be canceled. Now, the money is being put to good use, helping to provide accommodations and meals for internally displaced Ukrainians during their time of need. The Homeworks board, staff, and members truly do care about the communities that we serve. And I think that comes through in everything that we do. Thank you for embodying the cooperative spirit and helping us to make an impact in our communities year in and year out. All right, just one more quick update before we start your business meeting. You might not be aware that we recently reopened our lobbies effective April 1st. So if you'd like to come in and see us in person, we're now open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Our drive-throughs and phone lines remain open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And our office and field employees are all working diligently and safely to serve your needs. I'll be back with a brief pre-recorded operations update in a few minutes. First, you need to conduct your annual business meeting. Let's quickly review the purpose of this meeting. We ask you to come up to your district meeting each year, first to conduct the business of the cooperative, second, to elect delegates to our annual meeting in August, and third, to elect district officers who run these meetings and serve as the nominating committee every 3 years. Speaking of our annual meeting, it will take place virtually this year on Saturday, August 20th at the same Zoom webinar platform. If you elected to serve as an annual meeting delegate or alternate when you registered for this meeting, you will receive more information on that in the mail in the coming months as the meeting date gets closer. Now, let's bring your district officers up to conduct your annual business meeting. The bylaws provide us with a suggested agenda. Remember, this business meeting is when you will use the chat box to type in a motion or second, and the polling buttons that pop up on your screen to support or oppose a motion. Your district chair, Don Pasalt, will now come up to conduct your business meeting. Good evening, Don.
Good evening. Thank you, Chris. I'm Don Pasalt, and I've been our district's chair for 3 years and helped out for several before that. Homeworks Executive Assistant Michelle Hun just informed me that we do have a quorum with 140 member households in attendance tonight. Thank you for taking the time to log on. Let's start our business meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now we'll have our secretary, Connie Gibson, take care of our next agenda item.
Thank you, Don. The notice of meeting, proof of mailing, and 2021 minutes are on pages 4 and 5 of your district meeting booklet. I'm going to make a motion that we dispense with the reading of these and accept them as presented, Don.
Thank you, Connie. Can I get a second? Our moderator tells me we have a motion and a second to accept the notice of meeting. the proof of mailing, and the minutes from our last meeting as presented. Please vote on this motion using the polling on your screen now. Thank you. Motion carried. When you registered to attend this meeting, you were asked if you wanted to be invited as a delegate to the Homeworks virtual annual meeting in August. Now, Executive Assistant Michelle Hun will read the names of those of us who signed up to serve as 2022 annual meeting delegates.
Okay, we have Connie Gibson, Cheryl Aloy, Tricia Allen, Elena Bazaire, Robert and Christina Beers, Larry Bell, Bruce Bennett, Don Blau, Teresa Bowser, Michael Brecht, Dale Burns, Robert Chambers, Adam Clark, Carl Dalrymple, Robin Decker, Carol Dinese, Lori Dietz, Heidi Dunn, Michael Bronnie Fogg, Todd Falcon, Perry Gies, Edward Gowlett, John and D. Harvey, Max Helms, Ann Henry, John Heike, Daniel Havanak, Jamie Jackson, Kay Johnston, Arnold Kempton, Mark Klump, Bonnie Langworthy, John Lloyd, Susan Malzen, James Mary, John May, Susan McCaffrey, James Moline, Kelly Montgomery, Peggy Olson, Danielle Parker, Jacqueline Pelletier, Kevin Post, Brian Puff, Sherry Roush, Chandra Reichert, Michael Rotter, Hazel Schneider, Lauren Schultz, Marianne and Richard Selders, Charlotte Shaver, Charles Schlatsky, Kenneth and Charlene Schneider, Charles Sprick, Jay Steffen, Frank Strum, Connie Turnbull, John Wall, Mark Wardzinski, Raymond Weaver, Darren Wernette, Ryan Wernette, and Allison Wilcox.
Thank you to everyone who volunteered to serve as a delegate to the annual meeting. Is there a motion to approve the 2022 voting delegate list? We have a motion. Can I get a second? It has been moved and seconded to approve the delegates. Please vote now using the functions on your screen. Motion carried. If there is anyone here tonight who is not already on the list but interested in being invited as a delegate to the annual meeting this year, please contact Homeworks Executive Assistant Michelle Hun at the email address or phone number on the screen now. Mr. O'Neill, please come forward for the election of district officers.
Thank you, Don. First, let me remind you what your volunteer district officers do for your cooperative. The chair runs the annual membership meeting, as Don is doing here tonight. The vice chair steps in if the chair is not available. The secretary reads the notice of mailing and calls for the approval of the minutes from the previous year's meeting, as Connie did for us here this evening. Every 3 years, the officers also serve as the nominating committee when your district's board seat comes up for election. That was their job this year. Your district chair is Don Pasalt. Don has indicated he is willing to continue to serve as chair. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, I will entertain a motion to re-elect Don Pasalt as chair. We have a motion. Do we have a second? It has been moved and seconded to re-elect Don Pasalt as district chair. Please vote using the polling buttons on your screen now. Thank you. The motion is carried. Your district vice chair is Elaine Grace. Elaine has indicated that she would agree to serve as district vice chair again. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, I would entertain a motion to re-elect Elaine Grace as district vice chair. We have a motion. Do we have a second? It has been moved and seconded to elect Elaine Grace as vice chair. Please vote now. Motion carried. Your district secretary is Connie Gibson. Connie has indicated that she would agree to serve as district secretary again. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, I would entertain a motion to re-elect Connie Gibson as district secretary. We have a motion. Do we have a second? It has been moved and seconded to elect Connie Gibson as secretary. Please vote using the polling on the screen now. The motion is carried. Congratulations and thanks to all of you. Now I'll turn it back over to Don.
Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. Is there any other business to come before the district? If not, I will accept a motion to adjourn. We have a motion. Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Please vote using the polling function on your screen now. Thank you. Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you for participating in your business meeting. Now, I'll turn it over to Homeworks Corporate Counsel, Dan Templin, for our Director Election Report. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Don. As chair of District 7, Don also served on the district nominating committee this year, along with Vice Chair Elaine Grace and Secretary Connie Gibson. With the mail balloting this year, the nominating process had a slightly earlier timeline than in the past. A notice was printed in the January issue of Country Lines magazine informing members of the election for the Board of Directors seat this year. It also stated who the nominating committee is and what the qualifications are to serve as a director of the cooperative. The nominating committee accepted suggestions for qualified candidates from any member in the district. By February 4, the nominations had to be submitted to the Office of the Cooperative for verification. This year, your nominees were incumbent Director Shirley Sprague of Barryton and challenger Mark Klump of Stanwood. The nomination report was posted in a public place at the cooperative offices so members could see the nomination. Nominations by petition were accepted until February 21st in case someone decided to nominate themselves or a neighbor. There were no nominations by petition. The nominations and candidate biographies were published in the April issue of Country Lines, along with a mail ballot and an envelope addressed to an independent balloting firm. Members were told they could vote by mail before May 2nd. Tonight, we have a sealed envelope with the mail balloting results provided by an independent balloting firm, and I will now announce the election results. I will soon announce the election results. Congratulations, Shirley Sprague. Shirley has been elected as Director of District 7 for a 3-year term, and she will be seated at the Cooperative's annual meeting in August. Thank you to both candidates and to all District 7 members who took part in the democracy of the co-op by casting a vote. The voice that you have in the operation of your co-op is something that really sets HomeWorks apart from investor-owned utilities. Now let's turn it over to Director Sprague for a few words to the District 7 membership.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to continue to represent District 7 on the HomeWorks Board of Directors. I appreciate your support and look forward to what we can accomplish over the upcoming year and beyond. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good luck later with the prizes, and let's turn it back over to our moderator, Casey.
Thank you, Shirley, and thank you to our director candidates, district officers, and all members who voted in the business meeting tonight. Now we'll move on to the co-op update portion of our meeting. CEO Chris O'Neill has pre-recorded a great informative update for you. And at the conclusion of the briefing, Chris will be back up here live in person to answer your questions. Remember to use the Q&A box to enter any questions that you would like to pose to Chris or any of our staff members. Now, sit back and enjoy Chris's co-op update.
Hello, HomeWorks members. I'm so glad that you've taken the time to participate in our 2022 virtual district meeting. Your co-op can undergo a significant amount of growth and change in a year's time. And that's definitely been the case this year. I'm excited for the chance to tell you about all of the projects we've been able to work on and to improve and expand our services that we provide to you. So let's get started. First off, I want to take a minute to recognize the 107 employees who make everything we do at HomeWorks possible. Just last month, we celebrated these talented men and women with Field Operations Appreciation Day and Administrative Appreciation Day. Those special days gave me and my management team the opportunity to reflect just a small token of our gratitude we feel for the work our employees put into the co-op day in and day out, and especially what they've been able to accomplish in the face of unprecedented circumstances over the past few years. As you know, nothing has been business as usual lately. Between the challenges of the pandemic, inflationary pressures, labor shortages, and supply chain issues, our employees have had to continually adapt to find ways to deliver the same reliable services you've come to expect from us. I can tell you they have came through every time, helping us to meet and exceed all of our benchmarks over the past year, even during this uncertain time. As a HomeWorks member, you've got an exceptional team working on your behalf, and as your CEO, I couldn't be more proud to lead them. Now, one thing that really separates us as a rural electric cooperative from the larger investor-owned utilities in the state is that our employees are members of the communities we serve. The same staff member you encounter restoring your power on Monday or answering your call to the office on Tuesday might be coaching your child in youth soccer or teaching a Sunday school class at your church on the weekend. That's one of the reasons that we created a new program this year that I'm really excited about, which is our Employee Community Engagement Program. This program encourages our team members to make a difference in our local service area through meaningful volunteer opportunities. I'm proud to say that since the program launched in February, our employees have already served nearly 250 volunteer hours in our local communities. If you have a project or an organization in your community that is in need of some good volunteers, be sure to let us know so we can pass the opportunity along to our employees. Concern for our community is one of the 7 cooperative principles that guide us in everything that we do here at HomeWorks, and we try to embody that in all that we do. Another cooperative principle is member economic participation. Because you are a member owner of HomeWorks with a financial stake in the co-op, we strive to always provide you with a transparent look at our operations and our financial status each year. You'll find a detailed financial report on pages 8 and 9 and 12 and 13 of your district meeting booklet. You'll see in the report that the co-op is continuing to grow slowly and steadily with a net of 285 new active meters in 2021. 2021 energy sales were also up slightly with a 2.9% increase in kilowatt hour sales over 2020. Our costs have also gone up, which, as you know, necessitated a rate increase earlier this year, which I'll talk about more in just a minute. But with that increase and the effective long-term planning of our accounting team and our board, we've been able to keep our overall financial numbers strong, which is no small accomplishment in these times. I'm proud to report that the financial status of both the cooperative and our subsidiary is healthy. I mentioned that you are part owner of HomeWorks, but did you know that means you get a share in our profits? That's right. Being a part of a co-op means that when we have operating margins, that money gets allocated back to you, the members, as capital credits based on your share of electricity purchases during the year. In fact, you should have seen that allocation from 2021 on your recent May bill statement. That allocation of margins helps make up your equity in the co-op. Our bylaws call for us to use those funds as needed as operating capital for the cooperative. Then, during the years that our board deems the financial status of the co-op will allow it, we retire some of our capital credits and return them to you, typically as a credit on your bill. So far, we have returned over $24 million in member equity to you and your neighbors. Your board voted not to make a capital credit retirement this year due to the significant capital we are investing in the electric system hardening and the deployment of our fiber internet network to benefit all of our members. But don't worry, that equity is yours, and you can expect it to be returned to you in the future, even if you move away off of our lines. I can tell you that our current plan and goal is to be able to bring forward a recommendation to the board to make a capital credit retirement in 2023. As always, we will keep you updated on the status of your capital credit allocation and retirement through Country Lines Magazine and direct mail communications. Okay, I just mentioned the work we're putting in to harden our electric system. So now is a great time for an electric reliability update. I'm excited to report that your power was over 99.9% reliable in 2021. That is in large part due to the investment we've made to continually harden our electric system against wind and storms. Again, this past year, we maintained our regular cycle of checking our rights of way and clearing trees away from our lines. It's probably not something that you think about often, but this really does make a huge difference in your reliability, since trees are by far the #1 cause of outages. We have also continued to replace hundreds of aging poles and other infrastructure from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. You can see the obvious difference these upgrades make in the durability and resiliency of our system. And whenever we have an efficient opportunity to do so, we've continued to work to move circuits closer to roads for easier access. That helps us respond quicker when you do have an outage. Some of these maintenance and upgrade projects have been part of our make-ready work for the construction of our fiber internet network. I've told you before that since our fiber network follows our electric lines, everything we do to prepare and upgrade the system for fiber naturally benefits the electric system too. That means that even if you don't sign up for our Homeworks Connect service yourself, you're still benefiting from the project, which is a win-win all around. Now, there's no denying the fact that the cost of maintaining a reliable electric system, like most costs in the current environment, are on the rise. Everything from contractor and material costs to the expenses of hardening our system and keeping the rights of way around our lines clear of trees have significantly increased in price throughout the past year. In order to maintain equity and continue to qualify for the type of debt financing offers that financially benefit the co-op, while also continuing to meet our high standard of service, it was necessary for us to increase our rates in February to cover these rising costs. This increase was implemented into our availability charge, which is the fixed portion of our bill. The availability charge is designed to cover these costs of maintaining a distribution system to serve you before you ever even turn on your light switch. For most of you, as residential members, the availability charge increased from $24.50 to $31 a month. It is important to note that as a not-for-profit co-op, our rates are set only to adequately cover our cost of service and nothing more. Any overcollection or margins is eventually returned to you as capital credits. Fortunately, the electric distribution rate increase was somewhat offset by a reduction in our energy optimization surcharge this year. Still, I understand that any increase in your monthly expenses can come as a frustration and a challenge. That's why I wanted to address this with you here and reassure you that we remain committed to keeping our cost and our rates as low as possible, while still providing you with reliable electricity that you can count on. Even with an increase in our bill, the average residential Homeworks member is still able to power their home for a day for less than the cost of a fast food meal. This shows that despite rising costs, our electricity remains a great value for those that we serve. As a Homeworks member, you can be confident in the knowledge that your investment into your co-op is paying off in a big way. Our electric distribution system is one of the very best in the state, providing you with power that was over 99.9% reliable last year, and we continue to upgrade and improve it every day to serve you even better. So that was an update on our distribution side of your electricity. Now, with a quick update on the electric generation and transmission side of things, we have a word from a representative of our power supplier, Wolverine Power Cooperative.
Hello, my name is Zach Anderson, the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at Wolverine Power Cooperative. Wolverine is proud to serve as the power supplier to Homeworks Tri-County Electric. Our mission is focused on delivering affordable and reliable power supply for the benefit of our members. We do this as a not-for-profit electric cooperative, just like Homeworks Tri-County, and we live the cooperative business model by retiring all of our profits back to our members in the way of capital credits. In fact, we've retired over $100 million in capital credits in the last decade to our cooperative members. With that, I want to provide you an update tonight on three things. 1, fiber, 2, affordability, and 3, reliability. On the fiber front, you're likely familiar with Homeworks Tri-County's investment in fiber to the home to deliver high quality, high speed internet to its rural customers here in Michigan. We believe this is a great initiative as it supports economic benefits to members around the lower peninsula of Michigan. Wolverine, for its part, has been investing in fiber as well. And we do this at the transmission level on our transmission system, having installed to date 700 miles on our 1,600 miles of transmission around the state. This provides Wolverine some key advantages. First and foremost, it provides us high-speed connectivity to our rural distribution, transmission stations, and substations around the state. It does this in a way that is more cyber secure than anything else that's offered on the market, as we can secure within that fiber network, secure channels from a cyber perspective so the bad guys can't get in. The other advantage that fiber provides us is that we can help support reliability and resiliency to our members like Homeworks that are delivering fiber to the home. This reliability and resiliency is paramount in that it allows better connectivity all of the time to rural customers, and we're proud of that. Finally, the other opportunity it provides is that we can lease this fiber to other third parties that further advance rural broadband, and we're happy to support that as well. On the affordability front, our focus of our mission is to provide our members with stable power supply. And we're seeing that manifest today as energy prices are more volatile than they've been in the last decade. For the last decade, think 2010 to 2020, energy prices steadily dropped year over year over year. That hasn't been the case in the last couple of years as we've emerged from the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic and seen the war in Ukraine significantly drive up natural gas prices. Natural gas prices today have increased more than 3 times what they were just a couple of years ago. Fortunately for us and for our cooperative members, we have a portfolio in place that ensures that even in these most turbulent of times, the rate impact of that is minimal. And how do you see that? When you look to your power bill, if you compared your power bill to the neighboring investor-owned utility, you would be saving $300 per year as a cooperative member. That is what we see as the critical value that we provide, that even in rising markets, higher prices at the gasoline pump, higher prices at the grocery store, we do see a little bit of impact on energy, but it is not as significant as it could be. And cooperative members are saving $300 per year compared to their competitors. Finally, for my comments in this update today, I want to talk to you about reliability. Reliability comes in 2 forms. One, do the transmission and distribution lines stay up in a storm to keep your lights on? And 2, do we have enough generation supply to meet the maximum demand in the most extreme conditions? Think the heat of the summer and the cold of the winter. Well, today, I want to let you know that we do not have enough supply coming up this summer to meet the maximum demand in the upper Midwest. Just a few weeks ago, the regional grid operator signaled that it is short of the necessary generation supply to meet the maximum demand this summer. What have we done at Wolverine to be able to support our members? We've invested significantly on your behalf to ensure that we do have enough supply. In fact, we have more than enough supply to meet the maximum demand of our members. So that's the good news. We've invested, we've seen this coming, and we are prepared for it as best we can be. The bad news is, if we are required to shed load, and what do I mean by shed load? When the maximum demand is higher than the maximum amount of supply, and there's no more supply available to fulfill that, the only thing that can be done to keep the entire grid in service is to reduce load so those 2 things match. And that's where, unfortunately, we still at Wolverine, on your behalf, have to reduce our load share to meet that condition, because we're all connected on the broader grid. What is driving this issue is continued significant retirements of both coal and nuclear across the upper Midwest. That is being replaced primarily with intermittent renewables. This is a challenge as we transition to a more decarbonized grid, and we'll be here for the next 5 to 7 to 10 years. And so we need to continue to prepare and do everything we can to maintain our industry-leading natural gas fleet that is the most reliable in MISO, and make sure that it's ready to run whenever we are needed in these extreme conditions. So with that, I want to say thank you to the Homeworks Tri-County Board for this opportunity to provide you this update, as well as Homeworks Tri-County's management team. And finally, thank you for your time and attention, and we're proud to be your power supplier at Wolverine. Thanks again for your time. Take care.
I really appreciate Wolverine providing that power supply update for us. to give you a glimpse into the source of your electricity we provide to you. We're very proud that in partnership with Wolverine, we lead the state in providing you with power that is nearly 60% carbon-free and 20% renewable. As a Homeworks member myself, that makes me feel good about the electricity that powers my home. That leads me into the next exciting project I'd like to update you on, which is our new energy optimization program. Our state mandate for EO expired in 2021, but we didn't want to abandon a program that has been such a source of satisfaction and value for our members. Between 2016 and 2021 alone, 8,072 members participated in our former EO program, saving over 21 million kilowatt hours and receiving $1.8 million back in incentives. With this obvious value to our members in mind, we worked with our partner Slipstream to create a similar custom program to continue our EO offerings for you after the state mandate expired. Here to tell you more about the program are Homeworks employees Brandon Treeweiler and Nick Simon.
Brandon Treeweiler here with Homeworks Tri-County. And for the past 7 years, I helped facilitate the energy optimization program. And standing next to me is my replacement, Nick Simon, who's going to be implementing our new EO program.
And we're here today to tell you about 5 fast facts about our energy optimization program. Fact number 1, appliance recycling program.
Homeworks Tri-County members have a program open to them for recycling their old refrigerators and freezers, and they can receive a $25 check for every large item they recycle.
Fact number 2, electric vehicles.
Part of our new program, we have an electric vehicle piece where members can receive a $1,500 incentive for the purchase of a new electric vehicle, or $750 for the purchase of a used electric vehicle, or even a $600 incentive for the installation of a level 2 charging station.
Fact number 3 is Energy Star appliances.
Just like our old program, our new program also has an Energy Star appliance piece where members can receive incentives for installing Energy Star refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and even an induction cooktop.
Fact number 4, HVAC incentives.
Just like our old program, this new program also has incentives for members that install geothermal units, air-to-air heat pumps, and mini-split systems.
Fact number 5 is commercial and industrial incentives.
The new program has a piece where our business members and our farm service members can receive incentives for installing high-efficiency lighting or even VFD motors. For any further details regarding any of these incentives, please check our website out
at www.homeworks.org. I can't wait to be your new energy advisor.
If you're looking to implement beneficial electrification measures or make energy efficient upgrades at your home or business, I hope you'll take a minute to check out our EO page at homeworks.org to learn more about our rebates and incentives that might benefit you. Now, you heard in that video that Brandon recently handed over the EO reins to Nick Simon, and I wanted to mention that because Brandon was recently promoted to a new business development manager position here at Homeworks. In this position, Brandon will use his insight of our service territory to help us take advantage of federal infrastructure funds in new ways and establish key partnerships that will add value for our entire membership. I believe there are several ways that this position and a new co-op focus on economic development will benefit our members. First, the goal is to create growth at the co-op, which helps to keep our rates stable for you. The position also has the potential to create new employment opportunities within our service territory and generally improve the quality of life for members within our service footprint, which is an important part of Homeworks' mission. Next up, let's dive into a topic I know many of you are waiting to hear about, and that's our Homeworks Connect fiber internet service. In many of our districts, the service is deployed and available to our members. Since we met with you at this time last year, we've connected 1,800 additional members to the network, for a total of over 7,000 current subscribers. We're currently in the final phase of a 5-phase construction plan. Unfortunately, in phases 4 and 5, we face significant contractor labor shortages and supply chain issues that have slowed down our original construction plan. However, I can tell you that our team has worked incredibly hard to overcome these challenges, and we have reestablished momentum that we hope will allow us to complete the build out of our entire network by mid-2023. So if you're in an area that we haven't yet reached, or if you've been waiting longer than expected for a connection, I apologize and ask you to bear with us just a little bit longer. We're working hard to get to you as quickly as possible, and we're currently connecting dozens of homes per week. We continue to get positive feedback from those of you who have signed up for the service too. Members tell us they are very happy with the exceptional speed, reliability, and customer service they're experiencing. I've heard from so many of you who say that no matter how many devices you and your family use, our speed and reliability hold up with no worries about connection issues or lagging of any kind. During the past year, we even doubled our speeds for the same price, just to ensure that you have access to the very best internet service around. That's important because, as you know, quality rural broadband access has become even more vital than ever before over the past few years, and it's only becoming more of a necessity in day-to-day life. We're proud to be answering that need for members like you. One thing some of our members don't realize is that HomeWorks Connect also offers reliable and affordable home phone service. You can receive a bundle discount if you have both our internet and phone service, but you can also sign up for our phone service separately without HomeWorks Connect internet. So if you're not a HomeWorks Connect customer yet, and you're looking to upgrade your home internet or phone service, please give our fiber team a call or visit join.homeworksconnect.org. We'd love to connect with you. I want to wrap up my update by telling you about another great service we offer, which is Tri-County Propane. For 23 years, our crews have done an exceptional job of delivering great value to our customers in our area with dependable propane at competitive prices. This year, in the face of challenges, including staff shortages due to the pandemic and the current volatility of the gas market, our drivers worked harder than ever for our customers. In fact, they hit a milestone in January of this year, delivering a record 607,549 gallons in that month. In the office too, our experienced and highly trained propane customer service team worked to provide an incredible level of service beyond compare. With great options like 24-hour service, a budget plan, autofill, and metered service, and outstanding reliability, I'm proud of the exceptional service that Tri-County Propane continues to deliver each year. So that was a quick look at the past year of your co-op. As you can see, we've been busy, and it's been a productive year of exciting growth, change, and opportunity. Our employees work hard every day to make you their priority, whether they're building power lines, installing fiber internet, delivering propane, or answering your phone calls. Throughout the rest of this year and beyond, I can promise you that we will always maintain that commitment to you and providing you with safe, reliable, and affordable utility services that enhance your quality of life.
We hope you enjoyed that great update. Now, Chris is back here live to answer some of your questions before wrapping up with the most exciting part of the night, our prize giveaways. If you have a question you'd like our CEO to try and address tonight, please type it in using the Q&A function. We received a few questions from attendees prior to tonight's meeting during the registration process, so Chris will answer those questions now.
Thanks, Casey. Lots of questions in the pre-registration process on fiber and internet timelines within District 7, and I know folks are anxious to get connectivity at their home. I guess I'll address kind of where we're at in the construction phase currently. So phase 5 is our 5th and final phase. We're a little under 20% constructed on our main line currently. We're also just starting to approach the finishing line on our phase 4 construction, a lot of underground in our Canadian Lakes and Lake Isabella areas. We're expecting that to go to a couple more months before we're completed. But we are doing service connections within Canadian Lakes and Lake Isabella currently as we complete that main line. So we were hoping to be a little bit ahead of our 5-year time frame. We plan to maybe get about 6 months ahead and finish by the end of 2022 with our mainline construction. That's looking like probably June of 2023 before it's completed, but we'll see how the summer goes, and hopefully we can pick up some additional production throughout the summer months and possibly finish ahead of time. So I hope that answers the majority of the questions as far as where we're at in our construction. We're very anxious to get the service to you as you're anxious to receive it. If you do have any temporary lines, a lot of questions about temporary lines being put on the ground during frost over the winter. We expect all of those to be buried by June 1st. If you still have a temporary line after June 1st, please call in, communicate with us. We want to make sure we get those addressed. A couple other questions here on fiber construction specific to yard restoration or construction restoration. And so a couple about messes and cleanup, things need to be restored. The contractors do have an obligation to restore areas that were disturbed. If you have a location that has not been restored, please give us a call so we can put you on the list and make sure that we follow up with those contractors who are responsible to get that location restored as it should be. Next question here is sort of the miscellaneous category. I'd like to know more about Homeworks renewable energy portfolio. So Zach kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. We're 60% carbon free, and 20% of that is renewable energy. Actually, north of 20% is renewable energy. Primarily solar and wind purchase power agreements is what makes up that renewable energy portfolio. Some time ago, we got rebates on our electric bill and wondered whatever happened to that. That's a great question. Those are capital credit retirements. So you receive an annual allocation of capital credits, and that is basically your equity in the co-op. And when we have a condition that the board of directors believes that we can retire capital credits, we send you a refund either in the form of a check or a credit on your bill. While we haven't done that over the past couple of years due to the intensive hardening of our electric system, we are looking at it and are hopeful that our financial indicators are at such a state that we're able to begin those capital credit retirements again in 2023. And that is a board decision. So we'll see where that goes when they see our indicators. Next question here is, are you preparing for cyber attacks to the system? And the answer is absolutely. We've been going through a comprehensive security analysis that goes kind of in layers, and we're also engaging third parties to conduct penetration tests on our system to make sure that we diagnose and mitigate any weak spots. And so we have a plan that not only has preventative and security up front and training to our employees, but also has contract mitigation in the event that we should have an attack. So please talk about our solar energy options. At Homeworks, we have 3 primary solar energy options. One is our community solar, which is a situation where a member can invest in solar by purchasing a panel from the co-op versus investing at your location. If you would opt to invest in solar at your location, we have 2 different options for that. One is net metering, the other is a buy all, sell all. We ask all of our members that before they make the investment in solar, that you give your co-op a call so that we can walk through that payback and the break even transparently with you to make sure it's a good fit for you. Next question here is, I have concerns about missing nuclear generation supply and over reliance on wind and solar. And I think Zach really touched on this in his Wolverine update. We are in a tad of precarious situation where we have taken baseload assets such as coal and nuclear offline, and now we have demand that exceeds supply, and that spells a bad situation should we have that come to reality over the summer months, and we need to have rolling blackouts. Wolverine and the co-ops, including Homeworks that own Wolverine, have prepared for this. However, because we're part of the MISO footprint, we would have to participate in those rolling blackouts, even though we have enough capacity for our members. And so that is our concern, and we continue to engage regulators, specifically the Michigan Public Service Commission, on this issue, And pointing back to an article I put in Michigan Country Lines back in January, we're encouraging our members to engage in that process with the Michigan Public Service Commission and your local legislative representatives. With that, let's see what other questions we have here. What was the vote count for each candidate? And we have 335 votes for Shirley Sprague and 262 for Mark Klump. So that is a 11% turnout of the district, which I think is a record. So that's very much displaying the democratic principles of the co-op, and we thank you for that. Number two, customers with 3 meters. Do they have 3 availability charges? Yes, they do. And that's why we've worked with members to combine meters as much as they can to reduce those availability charges. Oh, I'm sorry. One of the questions was a dual fuel situation. In that situation where you have a subtractive meter, you would not have an availability charge on that. So if you have geothermal or the like, you would not pay an availability charge for that meter. Yep, separate subtractive meter. Next one here is, how fast is your internet service? Well, great question. So when we're talking about latency, the fiber optic will travel at the speed of light. When we're talking about bandwidth, each member can access up to 1 gig symmetric of bandwidth and not share that with any of their neighbors. As far as a commercial or industrial account, we can give up to 10 gig to those folks should they require it, and that would be symmetric service over that same fiber optic cable. We do have an intent to upgrade those optics to keep pace with data demands of our membership every 5 to 7 years to make sure that that system stays maintained and viable to all of our membership well into the future. Last question here is, please address X comments about demand exceeds supply and how that will impact our service during peak summer usage. And I think we've hit on that quite a bit, but the reality is that while Wolverine might have base load in the form of a industry leading or MISO leading natural gas fleet, we do have a situation where Wolverine would have to shed load according to that regulator, MISO, and share some of that excess capacity with other utility companies that participate in the market that lack capacity. And so that's a very unsettling situation. And that is why we ask our members to get engaged in this issue. And we are currently, as the Wolverine Group and the cooperative, engaged both legislatively and in the regulatory arena on this issue. And so we encourage members to, again, engage the Michigan Public Service Commission and engage your legislative representatives, because here at HomeWorks, we believe that a energy transition is workable, but it can't be at the sacrifice of the critical components of affordability and reliability. And so I hope that answers that question. If there's anything else, it looks like we have one more I'll take. Here we go. Can members install solar to help with demand issues? You certainly can. The issue that occurs with the renewables in the time of peak demand is that typically they are not operating. Less than 5% of the time during the hottest summer days and the coldest winter days, or the coldest winter hours, those energy intermittent resources, those renewable resources, are generally not generating anything to contribute to the capacity that's needed in order to offset the demand. And so while you may be able to install solar and mitigate some of the expense on an average day, during peak periods, those assets generally are not available. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you so much for those insightful questions. If I didn't get to your question, please know that we have it noted and we'll contact you with info and we'll follow up. Also, if members ever have any questions, I welcome those discussions and welcome the phone calls. To conclude, let me say thank you for your attendance at our virtual meeting tonight. I think it was a great meeting, and I appreciate you all being online with us. We love the opportunity to update you at what HomeWorks has been doing recently. After all, it's you and your neighbors who own this co-op, and we're here to serve you. Now let's give away some big prizes. Executive Assistant Michelle Hoon and Manager of Employee and Member Engagement Angel McCliggett are going to come up now and draw our raffle winners. Good luck.
All right, let's draw some prize winners. We're going to start small and work our way up to the big prizes. So let's start off with $25 HomeWorks bill credits. We're going to give away 5 of those this evening. Dig deep, Angel, dig deep. There you go. All right, our first winner this evening of a $25 Homeworks bill credit is David Martin of Barrington. Our next winner is Mark Nickercorn. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, of Orlando. Our next winner is Christina Martin of Remus. Next is Patricia Shelton of Stanwood. And the last $25 winner is Jeff O'Malley of Canadian Lakes. All right, next thing we're going to do is move on to 4 $50 bill credits. All right. The first one of the 4 is Todd Johnson of Barrington. Next is Sharon Quakendell of Grand Rapids. Next, we have Ken Vandenberg of Stanwood. You guys are challenging me tonight. And then we have Mark Wardowski of Stanwood. And again, I apologize if that was not quite right.
That's okay.
Part of our caring for our communities is supporting local businesses. So we're giving away 2 $50 gift certificates to local businesses. First one, we have a gift card is to Tullymore Golf Course in Stanwood. And that winner is Dale Burns of Morley. The second gift card we're going to give away is to Antlers Fireside Grill in Stanwood. And that's for Mary Ann Stickler of Big Rapids.
That sounds like a fun prize.
Yes, it does. Next one up tonight is a Fitbit Versa 2. That winner is James Pratt of DeWitt. Next, we're going to draw for an Amazon Fire Stick. That winner is Tracy Moat of Brownstown. All right, our next prize this evening is going to be for a Nest thermostat. That winner is Mike Forbes of Stanwood. All right, the next thing we have to give away this evening is an Echo Show device. And that winner is Dale Puckett of Stanwood. All right, next up this evening is a Roku Ultra. All right, and that's for Robert Rybar of Lansing. All right, next up is a Ring doorbell. That winner is Lila Baker of Everett. Well, here's my favorite prize right here. We're going to give away a Roomba vacuum. Does the vacuuming for you. The winner is Rosa Waite of Lakeview. All right, now for our grand finale prize, we're going to give away a 55-inch smart TV. Drum roll, please.
I've been practicing.
And this winner is, I apologize now for the last name, Peter Alexguinness, I think, from Stanwood.
We'll contact.
All righty, that was it for our prizes this evening. Congratulations to all of our winners. If you want a bill credit, it will be automatically credited to your account. If you want another prize, we will follow up with you soon to make a plan to get that prize to you.
Don't forget to turn in your bingo cards by June 1st by mail or email. And we thank you for attending your District 7 meeting. Have a good night.
That was